Back to one of our top stories now, and a major ministry move in Saudi Arabia. Longtime investment minister Khalid Falih has been replaced with Fahad Al Saif, a senior figure from the kingdom's near $1 trillion sovereign wealth fund. The move to dismiss Al Falih by royal decree comes as Riyadh reassesses spending priorities, manages tighter liquidity, and tries to close a growing gap between its foreign investment targets and economic reality. Well, to break down what this shakeup signals for investors, capital flows, and Vision 2030, we're joined live now by Ryan Bohl. He's a senior Middle East and North Africa analyst at RANE. Ryan, thanks so much for being here. First of all, I know Khalid Falih. I have followed him for almost a decade. I know his family as well. He's an experienced minister. He's been a well-known face in and outside of the kingdom for many, many years now. So can I get your reaction to this really significant move? What do you think is behind it? And what is the signal that Riyadh is perhaps sending with this change?
Well, the signal that Riyadh is trying to send on more than one level is stability, that Saudi Arabia is a stable country, it is a safe place to invest, and that the final 4 years of Vision 2030 are going to be focused on economic fundamentals and political stability and transparency in many ways that are designed to gin up that foreign direct investment that Riyadh has struggled to hit its own internal goals with. So this is radiating outwards in its foreign policy as well as its domestic policy. Saudi Arabia is trying to say that not only is it less aggressive on the foreign policy front, but it's also going to be less of a gambler on the domestic front as it pares back many of its high-flying Vision 2030 projects like NEOM, that mega city in the northwest, or other projects like the Red Sea resorts, which may or may not have any returns anytime soon.
Ryan, is this also an admission of sorts that the FDI strategy in Saudi Arabia needed a hard reset?
Yeah, I think it is. And it's something that's been a long time coming with these adjustments to Vision 2030, of which we've had rumors over the past few years. Saudi Arabia has been selling itself too much on its aspirational angle of Vision 2030, and that's not terribly enticing to many outside investors. There are regional investors, domestic investors, who would put some money behind these projects either as a matter of prestige or nationalism or solidarity. But when you're looking at some of the Europeans or the United States or Canada or India, they're looking at the fundamentals of these projects. And the reality is that building a mega city in Saudi Arabia's northwest was never terribly tangible. And that goes for many of the high-flying projects that Saudi Arabia has been trying to achieve. So I think they're trying to get down to the brass tacks of the final few years of Vision 2030 so they can get closer to that $100 billion goal of foreign direct investment over the next 4 years.
So let's talk about the execution risk moving forward, because Al Falih's replacement, Fahad Al Saif, comes directly from the Public Investment Fund rather than a traditional ministerial background. Perhaps that's also an asset here. And of course, he has also overseen the PIF's debt program and the PIF's long-term investment strategy. So should we perhaps expect closer coordination between the investment ministry and the sovereign wealth fund now as a result?
I think that you'll see coordination across multiple ministries, not just the PIF and the finance ministry, but as many ministries as possible, as well as on the foreign policy front, where Saudi Arabia will be looking to external partners like Turkey to try to build up its defense sector or its mining sector in order to build up the viability of it being an investment destination. I think it will be all hands on deck at this point with an overarching marching goal of achieving stability, of looking transparent, of working on fundamentals, where Saudi Arabia, to be honest, has had some success on its diversification in its non-oil sector when it focuses on those fundamentals, and it wants to ride that success as much as possible in these final few years. So I really do expect that this is going to be something that will involve even angles like the diplomatic corps and the military and the defense sector trying to build out this vision that Saudi Arabia is a place that is going to be behaving as normally as possible and moving away from aspirational kind of dream chasing that we've been seeing since the beginning of Vision 2030.